Many people ask, when should I buy my first investment property? Or when should I buy my next investment property? And I'm going to flip that question around. I'm going to ask you, what is it costing you by not buying an investment property today? In this video, I want you to stick around to the end because we're going to go through 4 ways of knowing when the time is right for you to buy your next investment property. And I'm also going to stick around and tell you how to get a hold of me and book a call for a one-on-one consult, no strings attached, because I work with real estate investor agents all around the country who also do property management. And we all take very seriously helping you build your retirement worth having by building your income by buying the right investment properties. Don't make the mistake of going down the rabbit hole of some of these online gurus. All right, so take a look at this map. These are the cities that I was telling you about where I have agents that are working just in REI and property management, and they are here to help you. And they're also going to agree with me on these 4 points on when is the next time or the right time to buy an investment property. Okay, so the first point of when is the right time to buy your property is number 1, when your money is right. And what do I mean by when your money is right? When you have at least 20% down, and depending on the market, 20% down is not going to do it. 25% down is going to be a better number because most lenders are going to give you a little bit of a carrot by having 25% down rather than 20% down. And quite frankly, folks, throughout much of the country, and especially here in Kansas City and your A and B neighborhoods, it's going to take closer to 30, maybe even 40% down in order to buy your next investment property. We can work through all that math. It depends on some of the criteria that you want to go through that will go in there. But the other thing about your money is having the right amount of reserves. Because not only do you want to have enough money, reserves. How do you spell reserves? Reserves. So having enough money in the bank in case something goes wrong. What if you move a tenant in and right away they don't start paying rent? It happens. Not very often, but it happens. What if you move in and you've had it inspected and everything's right, but then all of a sudden something shows up that an inspection couldn't have found? You want to have at least 3 months of PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance in reserve. And I would recommend somewhere between $3,000 and $8,000 on top of that, just sitting in the bank. Now, listen, some people will tell you I'm too conservative here, and I'm okay with that. I sleep just fine at night. I would recommend you find your comfort level, but you're going to need reserves. So 25 to 40% down and have the reserves. Once your money's right, you can move to step number 2. Step number 2 is when you know your criteria and you find the matching house. When you know your criteria and you find the matching house. So what do I mean by criteria? I mean, what kind of returns are you looking for? I mean, what's a good level for you? If you could have your money in the stock market and it's getting X, do you want X or do you want X plus Y? Are you looking for cash flow as your primary return, or are you looking for appreciation as your primary return? That's something to keep in mind. How many bedrooms do you want? I know that may seem silly, but how many bedrooms the house you're looking for will help shape what kind of tenant you're going to get. If you have a lot of bedrooms, it's far more likely that you're going to get a larger family. If you have like 1 bedroom, it's far more likely you're going to get a single person or a young married couple. Listen, fair housing doesn't let us choose tenants based on by their familial status. But I would say this, the house you have will attract those. They get to choose what houses they want based on their familial status because they're going to need more room or less room. Listen, there's always outliers, but that's just something to consider. Also, where are the jobs? Are the jobs far away or are they close by? Are they white collar or are they blue collar? What kind of jobs are you looking for the tenants that will be the kind that you're looking to attract? What's the construction of the home? Is it brick, so there's not a lot of maintenance? You know, what's the rent range you're looking for? These are all factors, including the school district. You need to be very, very clear on the criteria of what you're looking for in your next investment property before you start talking to real estate agents, or have that real estate agent who understands real estate investments help you decide the criteria that will work most for you and your economic goals. Because remember, when you're buying an investment property, you're simply buying income. Just like if you're buying this stock or a mutual fund or whatever it is you're buying, gold, crypto, for whatever that does, when you're buying income. So know what you want, and the house that you're looking for will find you more than you finding it. The third thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the right agent for you. And what I mean by the right agent is this. There are a lot of great real estate agents out there. And, I actually run a real estate office with over 200 agents in it. We also have our property management company. But all across the country, there are great agents that don't know the first thing about real estate returns, or what we mean by criteria, or what we need for the reserves, or what is it that the tenants are attracted to and what is it they're repulsed by. What makes a good rental house and what doesn't make a good rental house. There are so many factors to go in here. So you want to find the right agent that will help you with your next investment. And what you're looking for is somebody that either is very, very knowledgeable in the numbers and the math and the criteria of what makes a good rental property, not somebody who just knows the city and the school districts and things like that. Those are important. Don't get me wrong. And it's okay to take a chance on somebody who's still learning, but it's this expertise, these little nuances that are going to make or break your first rental property. It's amazing how much smoother our property management goes with the real estate investors that have let us help them buy their rental property, because it fits into our natural portfolio. What's really hard is when you buy with a regular house agent and the house agent's telling you, oh yeah, you can get $2,700 for this. I know you can. And then you come to us and we have to say, no, this is a $2,400 house. So right off the bat, because we didn't know our criteria, we didn't know our returns inside of that, we didn't know exactly what we were looking for, and we didn't know that our input numbers were right, we've got to struggle. And so what you want to do is find the right agent who understands real estate investments so that your next investment property will be more of a sure thing and less of a gamble. And number 4, and this is a hard one for a lot of people, forget about timing the market. And I'm going to put an exclamation point on that one right there. This isn't stocks. This isn't bonds. You're not day trading these things. We work with long-term buy and hold real estate investors. If you're looking to flip, if you're looking to do all sorts of these speculative type things, listen, I'm not against flipping, but flipping in my mind isn't real estate investing. It's income replacement, because you're managing that thing. And I'm not saying you can't make a lot of money doing that. I'm just simply saying we deal with long-term buy and hold people. And so what I teach is long-term buy and hold investments. And if you buy any long-term investment, you should probably be looking to hold that thing for a minimum of 5 years, but I'm really going to say somewhere between 6 and 10 years as a minimum. First of all, you get 29 years that you can depreciate the sucker, right? So you can run that all the way out, then you can start thinking about inheritances or re-leveraging that as you get older. Whole different strategies that we can have a one-on-one about at a different time. But this is what I want you to really understand. In the worst economy of my lifetime, and probably most of us' lifetime, if you bought on the worst day of 2007 on a national scale, if you bought on the worst day of 2007, you were made whole by 2009. And I'm talking about areas like Phoenix and Los Angeles and Ohio and Florida and those areas, because they kind of skewed the national numbers. Here in Kansas City, we didn't get the recession until about 2009, almost 2009, when, thank you, West and East Coast, you helped shut down our banks along with everybody else's banks for a few days. And that's what caused our recession almost a year later. We also bounced out much sooner, right around 2013 and 14, where most people were waiting till 15 and 16. So where you are in the country is going to matter. When you buy is going to matter to a certain degree, but let time do its thing. Time is your friend when you're building wealth. There's no doubt about this. I have here in my hand the latest market stats for May of 2025 for the Kansas City MLS. This isn't Johnson County or Jackson County. This is the entire Kansas City MLS, which is a really big region. And here's what I can tell you, that year to date, on a year where we're not supposed to be having that much appreciation, our average sales price is plus 8.3%. 8.3%. That's crazy, folks. On a 20-year scale, on almost any 25-year period, we average about 4.1%. Take a look at this slide that just came on your screen, and it shows you some appreciation periods from a national scale to drive home the point that if you're buying long-term buy and hold, when you buy almost doesn't matter. But let's put some icing on this cake. If this holds for the year and you buy a $300,000 house, after 1 year of appreciation, you're going to have $24,000 in growth. $24,000 in growth. But let's say it's half that. Let's say we go back to that national average, which I keep expecting, but we need more inventory and we need more home building. But home builders are not the march of dimes. Home builders want to make money, so they have to be able to find that affordable price point. But if we go to half of this, then it's only $12,000, but it's $12,000. And some of you might be saying, hey, Chris, calm down for a second. What if it's zero? Or what if it's even negative, like it did go in the recession for a little bit? Well, you know what? It might be zero, okay? But you would still be making money on the other three ways. Cash flow before taxes, you would still be making that if you buy right. You would still be making money on principal reduction, where your tenants are paying off your loan. How great is that? And you would also still be getting the tax benefits, where you get to be telling the government you're losing money when you're really making money. Folks, real estate investing it's so good it should be a part of everybody's portfolio. I'm not saying that your entire portfolio needs to be there, but if you want to hedge inflation and you want to make sure that you secure that retirement worth having that you want, I'm going to ask you to take a really strong look at this. Get your money right. You don't need an agent to help you get your money right. Get your 25 to 30% down, maybe even 35% down, depending on where you're buying. Then start figuring out what is it I want from this? Do I want cash flow or appreciation? And then you might go ahead and hire the right agent to help you figure out some of those questions and help you to maybe ask more questions that make you think more. That's what we do. I don't make decisions for people. What I do is I ask them the questions that help them make the decisions. And then finally, quit worrying about timing the market. The old Chinese proverb, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. Let's get you started on your real estate investing journey. So whether you're looking at Kansas City, where Jimmy and myself can both help you, Luke can help you, we are here to help you with that next acquisition, that next sale that you're looking to do, next 1031. And because I have the privilege of working with these high-level real estate investor agents and property managers from around the country, if I can introduce you to some of those folks, I would be happy to. Listen, I'm going to make a referral fee, and you're going to get competent leadership on your next investment. I'm Chris Lindquist. I'm with Ad Astra Realty in Kansas City area. We're actually based out of Olathe, Kansas. And one of the greatest honors I have is helping people to create financial security. So if we can be a help, I want you to go ahead and hit that link down there, and you can book a call with me, just a discovery call, 15 minutes. You don't have to commit to anything. We can just talk about what your plan is and how we can help you get that retirement that you're looking for. Folks, it's an honor.